Yo, what's up? It's your boy Fern. I'm right here with my boy Robert Garcia Jr., aka Pita. So, Pita, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
I'm a boxing trainer. I work for my dad, Robert. I work at the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy. Been training there or helping my dad train fighters there since I was like 17 years old. Started with amateurs. After school, my dad told me to start helping him at the gym. I started training with kids and going to amateur tournaments and stuff. And then as soon as I graduated, started working with the pros. And it's been 10 plus years and a bunch of world champs.
So a lot of people don't know who you. I mean, most people in the boxing industry know who you are, but a lot of the boxing fans don't know that you're a big part of the success of the RGBA camp. So when you started training with your dad, did you ever think you were gonna take this on full time?
Nah, I always said it. I used to say it a lot when I was younger, and I never cared for boxing really. I never used to go to the gym or I just never thought I'd be involved in boxing in any kind of way. Once I started helping them with the kids and I was just kind of doing it just for fun. It was cool traveling with the amateurs, going to different parts of the country and going to amateur tournaments, and it was fun. Mm-hmm. And then when I graduated, I just started helping them with guys like Brandon and some of those guys, and that kind of just like I said, now it's been 10 years and it just happened it happened quick. I never thought I'd be doing this as for making a living out of it and accomplishing what we accomplished, even less.
Oh yeah, and this year is a big year for you guys. You guys have what, 3 world champions in 3 months?
Yeah, Bam beat Gallo Estrada in, what was it, June or July?
Mm-hmm.
June, I think.
And he captured the WBC and Ring Magazine title,
yeah,
no?
Super flyweight, and then a month and a half later, Rayo, and then the next week, Virgil. Yeah, so it's been a big year. It's been, I think the year that my dad had I don't want to say the most success, but the most world champs, I guess, mm-hmm. was in 2000 and I want to say 14 or 13. That year, I think Mikey became world champ at the beginning of the year. A few months later, Evgeny Gradovich became the IBF champ. Jesus Cuellar became champ that year, and then at the end of the year, Maidana beat Broner. So it's been a while since we've had a year where there's been multiple world champs within the same year, and this year was kind of crazy because it happened within a month and a half.
Yeah, I know. So a lot of people don't know, but you're the one that be scouting all the amateur talent and bring them to your gym as amateurs and then turn into pros, right?
Me and Chepe do that. Chepe does it a lot, or he's brought in guys from Mexico. Mm-hmm. Chepe's the other coach, one of the other coaches that we have there at the gym. It's me, my dad, Chepe, and Felipe. And Chepe, he used to train kids and amateurs in Mexico before he moved over here to start helping my dad. So he kind of knew the amateur scene over there. He already kind of knew about some prospects, and he let my dad know about some of the guys. So he's also helped with that. But I do that here in the U.S. But I do that for my dad, to manage fighters. We don't scout guys for my dad to train them. We don't go to fighters and tell them, hey, we can train you or this and that, because they already have trainers. They're already, obviously, if we see a kid that's really talented or that we're interested in, that means their trainer, whatever trainer they have, is already doing a good job with them. They're already, obviously, if we're interested in stuff, that means they're good fighters already. Yeah. We do that for managing, and then my dad tells them, obviously, if you would like us to help you, then we could do that too. But we do that for my dad to manage fighters, and we've had I want to say 10 guys that we've brought in. Guys like Bam, Josh, Tanahara, Navarro, Gomez, a lot of guys.
Yeah, I remember when Bam was still an amateur, and I think Franco, Tanahara, and Jonathan were gonna debut, no?
Yeah.
He wasn't even fighting yet.
Nah, Bam was like 14, 15 years old.
And then Bam got his big break. What, you guys would put him on top rank shows, anywhere he could get a spot, right? And then out of nowhere, he just blew up.
It was tough for Bam at first because of his weight class. The small weight classes, just recently they started getting a lot of attention, but even then it's hard for promoters to sign a kid that's a small weight class because one, there's not a lot of much like opponents, not as many opponents in those small weight classes. You have to fly guys in from like Mexico, Japan, and stuff like that. So here in the U.S., it's harder for a promoter to sign a kid like that because they have to be spending a lot of money flying in opponents and looking for opponents, and then the money isn't there like, compared to like somebody like a welterweight and stuff. So when Bam first started, my dad used to pay for his fights in Mexico or wherever he could put him on a show, like on an undercard of Mikey or whoever could help us. And then he kind of got a break during COVID when Top Rank started doing their shows. They would do a show every Tuesday and Thursday. And they needed fighters. They didn't care who it was or what weight class, or they just needed content like to put out on ESPN Plus. And they knew that our gym was, it was kind of different because we have the house and the gym in the same place. So fighters could stay at the camp house and train, and they wouldn't be at risk of going out and catching COVID. And so they called my dad about a lot of our guys. So Bam was one of them, and he kind of got a break in that time. People started to kind of see and recognize him, and then that's when Matchroom came in and brought him in for one of their fights, and they signed him, and then he kind of just blew up from there.
Yeah, I remember. He was actually a last-minute opponent for Carlos Cuadras, right?
He was, he was supposed to be on the undercard already. He was fighting an 8-rounder against, I forgot who it was a kid right here from Riverside, actually, that he was going to fight. And then, like 6 days before the fight, they called my dad, and they told him that Rugby side had gotten sick, or he couldn't fly. I don't remember exactly what it was. And they asked if he was interested to, to step in, and right away they jumped on it.
That's right. Yeah. And aside from training pros, Pita, you also offer classes to amateurs, right?
Yeah, we train. We have amateur classes in the afternoons from 4 to 8 p.m. Yeah, we have a big amateur team. We have kids that compete. Local level, nationals, all that. But we also have beginners classes for boys, girls, and adults, and all levels of experience.
And anybody could join, right?
Anybody. Yeah, anybody. If you look up the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy, we're on Yelp and Google Maps, and it has all the information on there. It has the phone number to call, and it has all of the address and whatever you need to just give us a call, and then we can get you signed up. Because
is this just for boys or girls as well?
Boys and girls. Yeah, we have girls in classes too.
And then you guys are moving gyms, right? Like to Moreno Valley, California?
Yeah, we're moving to Mobile. That should be like the next month. They're already working on the inside of it. The bathrooms should be done soon. Yeah, it's going to be tight. It's going to be at the Moreno Valley Mall.
So, like, if people want to join the gym, how do they contact you guys?
Just through, like I said, they could do it through Instagram. My dad's Instagram page is @GarciaBoxing. Or they could do it, like I said, on Yelp. If you look up the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy on Yelp, there's a phone number there that you could call, and then the address to the gym is on there too. So they could give us a call, get more information, and stop by whenever they want. We're open from 4 to 8 p.m.
Have you ever gotten a kid that just signed up as an amateur and you noticed like crazy talent on them that you told your dad about them and took them onto like the pros, or no?
We haven't done that. I was just talking to my dad about that recently because I've never, because look, we have like Bam. Bam was at the gym when he was like 14.
Yeah.
But he was already like training somewhere else. But I haven't done that where I have a kid that I start since like the amateurs to help turn pro. Mm-hmm. When I was training the amateurs in Oxnard, there was a lot of kids that I started or that I took to their first amateur fight or that I was taking to go fight. But then we moved from Oxnard over here. And then a lot of them stopped fighting, they stopped training, or some of them kept training, but obviously it wasn't with us anymore. So now I moved over here and we have a whole new group of kids. But in like the next like year or so, we have a few kids like the Corias. They have a junior, and he turned, I think he's 18 already. And he did his first amateur fight with me when he was like 11 or 12 years old. And he actually just won his first national title this year. So he might be, he'd probably be turning pro sometime next year. That'll be the first time that I get a kid from like an amateur to turn pro. I've never done that.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
And then, do you think your dad deserves Trainer of the Year this year?
I think so.
I know there's a lot of politics involved or whatever, how that's like voted on or whatnot.
Yeah, look, because even like I said earlier about the year that my dad, probably the best year we had was that year maybe when Maidana beat Broner. That same year, my dad made I think it was 4 world champs. Like 4 guys became world champs in the same year, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like right now we have 3, and it's already people talking
and
about it.
And did he win it that year or no?
And that's so the year before he won it. In 2012 he won it when Nonito became champ, and I think Brandon became champ. But Nonito had a big win against Nonito beat Montiel. He was already world champ, but he beat Montiel, and then Brandon became world champ. Mikey wasn't world champ yet, but those two guys were world champs. My dad won it that year. The next year, he had an even better year. But in December, Maidana beat Broner. A few weeks before that was when Brandon fought Pacquiao. Brandon fought Pacquiao and he lost, but people will remember like that there was like a big fight in the what's it called in the gym over there in China. There was like a big fight between Ariza, my dad, Freddie Roach, Ellie, Brand, everybody. It was like this big fight, and a reporter at the end of the year, my dad was in New York for a fight, I don't remember where he was. That he talked to a reporter who votes on the Boxing Writers Association, and he told my dad, he's like, Robert, you would have won Trainer of the Year this year if it wouldn't have been for that little fight that you guys had with Freddie Roach. And my dad was like, fuck, like, what does that have to do with me winning Trainer of the Year? My dad had a better year that year, and he didn't get it. They gave it to, I forgot who got it that year. But yeah, so it's kind of,
I think it's a lot of politics.
Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of bullshit about it. Because last year, I don't want to say names because it sounds like, you start hating. But last year, my dad wasn't even nominated. But there was a trainer who had a fighter who pulled off an upset to become like world champ, right? Mm-hmm. And that was the only fighter he has. That's the only big name fighter he has. And the dude pulled off an upset, became champ, and I think he defended his title. So off of one fighter, that guy was nominated for Trainer of the Year. Last year, Bam beat Sonny Edwards, and he became a 2-division champ when he beat the kid from Mexico, which is also like that's a good year for any other trainers. Like that's a good year, but my dad wasn't even nominated last year. And then this year, now with the 3 world champs, now it looks like I think he should get it. I think he probably is gonna end up getting it if everything's still obviously there's still a lot of time to go in the year, and if everybody keeps winning and performing and stuff, then my dad should be the favorite to get it. Who knows if he gets it, but he should be the favorite. But again, there's a lot of bullshit that goes.
Like Freddie Roach when he won it back to back, and all he had was Manny Pacquiao, right?
He won it, but he won it he's won it the most times. I think he's won it like 10 times. There's only been like 6 guys that have won it more than once. So it'd be cool if my dad gets it again.
I think he will.
And with such a big gap, because like if you notice, like a lot of the guys that win it like multiple times, they win it like you said with the same fighter. Mm-hmm. So like Eddie Reynoso has won it twice, I think, and it's really because of Canelo. There's a few other guys, but it's in the same like era, you can say. Canelo and then a few other guys. Guys like Freddie Roach won it because of Pacquiao, because of Amir Khan. It's the same group of guys. My dad won it in 2012 with training Brandon, Mikey, Nonito, Maidana, some of those guys. So now in 2020, what are we in? 2024 with Bam, Virgil, a whole new group of guys. So I think it's cool, if you were to get it this year.
Hell yeah, especially when Rayo pulled off the upset against Pitbull when nobody thought he could do it.
Yeah, that was a big one.
What do you think about Turkish coming into the boxing world? Do you think he's good for boxing or bad for boxing?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good whenever anybody new comes in and they're spending money on boxing and trying to get involved and make big fights happen and stuff. It's always good because the more I guess you could say competition or the more options that fighters have, the better it is for everybody. I think most people, whenever they think of like MMA, they think of like fighters not getting paid enough or whatever, because there's only like the one promotional company that's involved. It's only the UFC that really pays the guys good money, but they also don't pay them what they should because they know that they're the only option. I think in boxing it's good whenever there's new guys that come in and gives fighters more options, a bigger platform to make certain fights happen and stuff. So it's always good for boxing.
And then you guys have all the fighters to make like one big ass card, like Virgil.
Yeah, we were talking about that where the dude Turkey, he works with Matchroom a lot. Obviously, he sponsors Top Rank and Golden Boy. We have guys that can make like a whole fucking card. Virgil, they were talking about Virgil versus Crawford. We have Bam who could be on versus Gallo Estrada on that card. Rayo and Pitbull could be a rematch. Like
that card right there itself.
That'd be sick.
So yeah, that kind of wraps it up, man. Thank you, Pita, for taking the time doing this little interview. If you guys want to train or learn boxing, self-defense, he takes on any level of experience, man. Stay tuned.